and welcome to Germanna Today. I'm Ashley Anglin, and with me is my colleague and new co-host, Cheryl Huff. Hi.
Hi.
And welcome to the show. I know, we've worked together for
like 11 years.
Long time,
since you
yes.
came?
Yes, so the whole time I've been at Germanna.
Exactly.
In departments that touch.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've both chaired the humanities department at some stage in our career.
Yes.
Knowing how fun that is.
Yeah, so do you want to tell the audience a little bit about yourself since you're new to the show, sort of new to the show. You've been a guest on the show.
I've been a guest on the show for various projects and initiatives that we've had going at the college. But taking over as co-host is really exciting. It's something that, something new, something fun to do, and I get to do it with you.
There you go, and we're both language and culture related, and we can talk forever. So
we have so many things that we can go into.
We really could.
Not just our matching shoes today.
Yes, which we do have matching shoes today.
Totally coincidental.
What are the odds? Yeah,
I think it's a sign.
I think it is. It's a good omen.
Right.
Yes.
Good. So getting to do this with my favorite redhead.
Don't you know?
And you're just down the hall from me.
Yes.
Our offices practically connect.
Almost. And we're in the fun hallway.
We are in the fun hallway. And I think we're going to have some exciting guests. And I look forward to hearing about them.
Absolutely.
I was telling Mike Zitz today that I am working with my students on the Great Listen project. And my students, which is part of Selected Shorts. And so they will be interviewing a family member.
Oh, perfect.
And submitting it to the Library of Congress. So I've been speaking with them about interview skills for the last week.
Okay, so now you got to put your money where your mouth is. That's right.
Exactly.
Do you want to tell us where we are today?
Yeah, we're broadcasting from FredCAT, which is the Germanna base for a lot of our apprenticeship programs. We have over 20 apprenticeship programs that meet here. This is part of our workforce division. And here at FredCAT, it's a giant space, but much of what happens for FredCAT happens on site. So students are learning on the job, on the space, getting some training here, but taking it out into the field. And one of the primary ones is our new Asphalt Technology program. And the Asphalt Technology program started at Germanna, and you're going to be hearing a little bit more about it.
Yes, and Ed Dalrymple is the person who made that program a reality for us, and recently has been honored as the, I'm going to read this part, Germanna Educational Foundation's Philanthropist of the Year. And we have some video about the apprenticeship program from the quarry that Ed owns and operates in Culpeper.
The asphalt industry sort of has a stigma of being, I'm out on the hot roads with hot asphalt, sweating with a shovel all day long. But that's really a very, very small part of it. Roads everywhere need to be maintained, replaced. They're building new roads day in and day out. So it's an industry that'll be around. I'm Joseph Miller. I go to school through Germanna Community College. I'm in the Asphalt Apprenticeship program with Shimon Contracting. I'm studying all the different fields in asphalt. So I do asphalt plant running, I do lab testing, and I do field work as well. I was looking for a way to get back into school, and I needed a job. So I heard about this program, and it sounded like the perfect fit. And I came and talked to Ed about it a little bit. And you know, one of my favorite things about Ed is that his door's always open. You know, you can walk into the office, and he's right there, willing to talk to you if you need to talk to him, and you can talk to him about anything. You know, Ed is a really, really great guy.
I find Ed to be a very fair and supportive person. He's very fair in his dealings with his employees. Very supportive of the community, and very supportive of our industry, and he's very supportive of education. And he's given a lot of people a lot of opportunity here to not only further their education, but to receive training and have a job at the same time.
You know, college isn't for everyone, and not everyone realizes that, you know, coming straight out of high school. So if you think about it and you're not ready for college, these type of programs are perfect for you. You know, you can get in, you can start making money. The company pays for all of my classes, many books that I need for classes. It's all covered, and I get a paycheck every week. So that, you know, you can't beat that. I get to make money and save money while going to school, and I'll have zero debt coming out of the program, which is really, really nice.
Our asphalt technician program that we have through Germanna is perhaps the only one of its kind in the United States. And we're training the employees to not only be asphalt lab technicians. They're also field technicians and able to run the plant. And it's a 4-year program. At the end, they will have a degree plus picked up skills and education and training here at the Cedar Mountain Stone and Shimon Contracting.
That's one of the other great things about the apprenticeship program is we all learn to do everything. So we can run the plant and do the lab testing and do the field testing. Most of the people for the company just do one of those things. Like we have an asphalt plant operator, all he does is operate the plant. We have somebody who runs the loader, all he does is run the loader. We have a lab supervisor, all he does is do the lab. Us, we do all of it. We float around, we do what's needed, we fill in where we can. We do learn a lot of different things, so you really can't replace the job experience that you're getting while going to school. And as soon as I'm done with the program, I'll have an associate's degree in industrial maintenance. From there, I'll probably go after a bachelor's in civil engineering. There's, you know, the sky's really the limit to what can come from it.
We're really grateful for what Ed's doing, and I was lucky enough to meet him because I was taping your show on the day that you had him on.
That's right, that was the same day, I remember,
right.
yes.
So I was lucky enough to meet him and hear about the program, and now I see that it's come to full fruition.
Absolutely, and just really what the best that community college can be about.
Exactly. I'm thinking about doing the program myself.
The money's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
All right, and on that note, we'll be right back.
I graduated from Germanna with an associate's degree in engineering. I chose Germanna because of its guaranteed transfer agreements and its faculty. My professors really cared about my success and they helped me get where I wanted to go. I'll be completing my 4-year degree at Virginia Tech and it'll be a lot less expensive.
Germanna's guaranteed admission agreements offer you acceptance to a host of 4-year universities when you meet requirements of the agreement. Make Germanna your first stop on the road to success. Germanna Community College. Your future, our commitment.
Next, we'd like to turn our focus to a Germanna student we all have tremendous respect for. His name is William Steele. He's a veteran and actually lost a leg in Afghanistan. However, he has not let this slow him down a bit.
Is William Steele. I'm a military veteran at Germanna Community College. My grandfather, he told me a lot of great stories about his time in the Navy, 1942 to 1945. From that day forward, I had this spirit of patriotism that I couldn't understand. And at the age of 16, I went to the recruiter for the National Guard, and that's when I signed up. On June 25th, 2009, we was on a routine patrol in Afghanistan. We rolled over a roadside bomb. When they blew me up, not only did I have a traumatic brain injury, severe concussion that caused me to have amnesia for 6 months, I also messed my hip, my thigh, my kneecap was shattered in a million pieces, as the doctor explained. After 6 months of trying to save the leg, ended up losing my leg in combat also. I can truly say that even though I lost my leg, it did not stop me. I still kept it moving. I thank God that I'm still alive. At least I'm able to tell somebody, adapt and overcome. That's one of my favorite sayings. No matter what, I'm gonna keep it moving. I said I need to get an education because of my personal issues that I've had from combat. It's very hard. I have to repeat things 10, 20 times a day to understand the material that is being brought to me. I had to take big things of notes to understand what is this teacher trying to relay to me. What they taught me at Walter Reed. They taught me that if I don't do it in a repetitious way, I would forget it. I still use my cell phone. It's, you know, you're supposed to use your cell phone for calling and texting, I think, but a lot of people don't know I use mine for remembering how to do things. My cell phone helps me with that. The accommodations at Germanna, I mean, I'm wonderfully grateful for that. I get extra time on my tests, my quizzes, my homework, everything. I can truly say that they accommodate me personally as a veteran, injured from combat, understanding my disabilities, understanding that I need all these certain things. And when I say I have some of the best professors, I have some of the best professors. I have enjoyed every professor that I have come across. And as a veteran, I'm gonna always say this, I am colorblind. Everybody has fought somewhere in your lineage for that flag, for that song, so to speak. If it has to deal with being a person of color, trust me, someone down the line, someone served in the military. It's sad, you know, that we have come, a country that's supposed to be united is so divided. And that hurts every veteran. When I see a veteran, I don't hug him or kiss him or anything like that because he's black or he's yellow or whatever color you want to call yourself. No, I do that because at least they made it home. The average veteran has at least 2 deployments under their belt. And this country needs to understand, people need to understand. We were called to duty to do something that a lot of people won't do. It's only so many people that join the service. And when you see a veteran, man, be thankful. At the end of the day, we bleed the same blood. And we don't have time to hate one another. We have time, what you do have time that you need to be doing is stop taking a stand because you're a high paid person who ain't probably did nothing. But actually be a person that says, okay, I live in this country, can I at least show some respect? If you just stand, I'm fine with that. You don't have to put your hand over your heart, you don't have to stand in attention, just stand. That's how I look at it.
Wow. William Steele has been through so much, but he's obviously, like so many of our veteran students, putting his heart into getting his education, working with the veteran staff. I'm the daughter of veterans, so of course I get a little bit, a little bit misty about
that's as it should be.
What happens with our students who are vets, and I know that our veterans office and our disabilities office work together to make this happen for them.
Yes, they do.
And he's so proactive. He says he's using his phone to put reminders in. I would like to get all my students to do that. But he's obviously learned what works for him, and that's how you succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. No, these guys are, keep using the word respect because that's just the best thing that I can say. They have already served their country, you know, in the ultimate way, and they come back still with full of ambition to lead another life of, you know, giving to the community. And even though now they face challenges, William is not the only Germanna student I know who's a veteran dealing with traumatic brain injury.
Exactly.
And, you know, that's, a lot of people would just say, okay, forget it. But
and
these men and women do not, and it's really, really impressive.
I love having them in my classes because
Me too.
they definitely raise the bar
They
for
really
the rest
do.
of the students. They
really do. Whether or
add
not the
something
grades
powerful.
get to be there,
Right.
the character.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
The commitment.
Yes,
We're very lucky to have him.
absolutely. And we will be right back on Germanna Today.
I'm Ben. I'm a communications major. I got my start here at Germanna. The opportunities that this school offers is absolutely great. As soon as I stepped on campus, I felt very welcome. The staff, the students, the guidance counselors, everybody just created an environment that I can call home. Transferring from Germanna to Mary Washington was really simple and not complicated at all. Of course, everyone likes to save money. Tuition here is a third of what it is at a university, and the great thing is that you can transfer without debt. Germanna is the right first choice.
Welcome back. We are now here to continue the conversation about Germanna and veterans with Sean Blackman from our Veterans Center and Susan Moyer from the VCCS. So guys, why don't you tell us a little bit about Credits, what is it? Credit2Careers, and what else you have going on that's helping veterans like William that we just saw.
Sure. So Credit2Careers is a brand new tool that we just implemented on November 10th. We had our big launch down in Richmond, Virginia. And what it is, it's an academic and career portal that students can come to prior to even enrolling at schools like Germanna and figure out what they want to do for their future once they're getting out of the service.
Right, because the transition can be a whole nother challenge, right? Yeah, so that's outstanding.
Yeah, the reason that we decided to do a tool like this for our active duty members and our veterans was because back in the day, many of our students would come to us and they would have all this military experience and all these skills, and we would look at them and say, here's PE and health.
Right.
And then they were basically starting all of their college from scratch.
Right, I know I've had, as a Spanish professor, I've had people come with Defense Language Institute credits, and like you had to argue in favor of that being accepted for college credit. So it's really good to see things moving in this direction.
And that's a great example because those folks are proficient in those languages, and we're making them sit through a 101
which
course.
is craziness. Yes.
And so this kind of gives them a way to enhance that and accelerate their time
Right.
in college versus having to start all over again.
Right, and they should be getting the benefit of all the service that they've already given. So yeah,
Yes,
that's
so,
good to hear.
So there was a big push for this back in 2015. The legislature actually passed a law saying that all of community colleges had to now start providing credits for all their military experiences. And so we brought faculty together down in Richmond, and we trained them on how to look at a joint services transcript and military experiences, how to really understand it, so that they could equate the credits. And all of that great information is now pumped into the tool, and it's transparent. A student, anybody, even if you're not a student, can come onto the tool, take a look, and see what Germanna may offer a student just based off their experiences in the military.
So can you explain a little bit about how the portal works? Where do students find it? What do they need to input? Do they need anything with them? Do they need certifications or credits to plug in? How does it work?
Okay, so they want to go to www.Credit2Careers, that's the number 2, Credit2Careers.org. Once they get there, they'll create their account. It really takes less than a minute to really create
Like
this
name
account.
and
Yeah, it's really quick.
address.
We don't ask them for a lot of
Right.
sensitive information.
Of course.
But once they're there, every service member has, well, I should say the 4 branches of service. So the
Right.
Coast Guard, the Army, the Marine Corps, Navy. Did I leave anybody out?
Air Force.
Not the Air Force.
Air Force, no.
Oh,
No, they don't have a joint services transcript.
They have their own
Interesting.
They have-
community college
Oh,
system,
I
so
see.
they
That's
actually
okay.
get
That's really
transcripts.
interesting.
so they're
Right.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're good to go.
Good.
So this actually plugs in a joint services transcript. So any service member who has one of those can plug it into the system, and the system knows how to read it.
Okay.
And
Wow.
it parses it out, and then it does a couple of things. It will tell them, it will show them a pathway to an academic program at Germanna or any of the VCCS institutions, but it will also take another spin and show them a career path as well, based on what they've been doing,
Oh,
and it'll even help them create resumes.
that's amazing.
That is really cool.
Not a huge
powerful.
negative, though, with this program
There's
for
no
me,
negatives.
Yeah.
is it was just created. So it wasn't available when I started going to school.
Oh wow.
That's right.
But as far as where to find it, we do have it on our Germanna
Yeah.
website as well. So
Okay.
from our homepage, if you go to Student Services and on our Veteran Services page, there is a link to
Right.
Credit2Careers as well.
Well, I know you already found a career, but you could still plug in your
That's
information, and maybe
I
it
do
will
it all
give
the
you
time
some
just to play
ideas.
with it.
Right. We heard that the
That's right.
asphalt program is
Right, the asphalt program,
pays
they
really well.
pay very well.
I don't know if I want to do that. I don't think my credits are gonna.
No.
They
Give
wouldn't
me-
go in that
You
direction.
don't think it would lead you in that? No,
Right.
maybe not.
Right.
Yeah, maybe
So
not.
you can imagine.
Building bombs, maybe.
We'll find a
with a lot of
career
effort.
for
I
him.
don't know if we have a class in that at
We
Germanna.
don't. No, we don't.
Sometimes it feels like it, but no.
But that's why I chose a different career path, though.
That's how, yeah.
Right? And that's
Right.
what this will help our veteran students figure out.
So you think it'll
too,
make it
because
easier for them than it has been for you?
It will.
Yeah.
It will.
So you're telling all your students, you're telling all your
I am.
all your friends
I
and
stole
people
a
who
bunch
live
of
in the
pens from
area.
Susan last week.
That's
Sure.
right.
Credit to
Good.
Careers, they're all over the office. I
Yeah.
got flyers hanging up everywhere.
Good.
So yeah, we're getting the word out.
Yeah. So for a little bit of background, how is the VCCS directing this and administrating it? Is it going to stay housed within the VCCS? Is it part of shared services? Or?
So it's housed on every single website for all the
Right,
VCCS
okay.
institutions, but it's also on our main website as well. We're actually going to have a link on it on the Virginia Education Wizard.
Oh,
And we have partnering with Department
Yeah.
of Veteran Services, and they have us all over their website as well. So we're doing a lot of
Wonderful.
marketing to get the word out about it, but we only launched less than 30 days ago, and we have 500 accounts and users already in the system. So we're doing quite well as
Yeah.
far as getting the word out.
good.
But so what I wanted to kind of mention was, we were talking about careers in the military and their skills. Most of our service members who could come out of the military, they want to change. They don't want to do what they've been doing in the military.
I hear that from my
But they're not
students.
sure what they want to do.
Yeah.
So this too can actually help them explore their options and show them how close they actually are to an actual degree.
Right.
And you mentioned certifications a little bit while ago. That's our next step, is to
Ah,
start
okay.
crosswalking those certifications as well, bring them into the tool, even more college
Because
credit.
sometimes that's a nice first step. You get the certificate, and at least you feel like you have something
Exactly.
tangible.
Definitely.
And
And go
then
get a
go
job.
on and get the degree.
Stack it into the
Yeah.
whole degree. And
Yeah,
that's,
and that's the idea. Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
So what's the response been like? What are you hearing from the students who are using it?
What do you think, Sean?
Well, I mean, I haven't actually had somebody sit in my office and use it. They typically use it somewhere else. But when they're in the office and we're talking about it, well, I've used it personally, so let me give you my response to it. So when I went in, uploaded my JST, and saw what I was, I guess,
what you could earn credit for,
what I may receive credit for, I was kind of thrown back a bit because I didn't, when I first got out, let me just start from the beginning.
Okay,
I'm sorry. Let me back up.
Absolutely.
When I first got out, I knew I had tons of credits because I looked at my JST myself.
Okay.
With all the training I did, not to mention professional schools from recruiting, sales, communication, the whole nine. I knew those things would apply to a college degree, just that when I started, none of those things were applied.
Wow.
So looking at my JST, I had an idea that I may have a lot of credits that would go towards a degree program.
Right.
But this, when I plugged them in, would actually show me specific schools, specific programs that they would apply to.
Right.
Yeah.
So coming into the college system, thinking I had credits that would be applied versus knowing. Seeing exactly where they would apply and what degree plan. So as Susan was saying, it gives me an idea of which option I want to go towards. So if I'm thinking business, but most of my credits apply to a different program, then maybe I want to check that program out.
And this is very cool to hear, because in the big picture of the state of Virginia, the trend now more and more is, don't let people walk in the door with just that vague, I'd like to get a degree in something, but help them to focus their path very early on, and that increases student success. So I think that particularly for this population, it's fantastic to, make it go smoother. I think that's totally the right thing.
And what's
I'm sorry. I don't want this tool to take my job though.
No, it is not.
We don't need that. Is not.
I'm going to say this.
Intention.
When they do come in though, and we made the point earlier that a lot of military members, when they get out, don't want to stay in the same field.
Right.
Yeah.
That's partially because when we did it in the Marine, or I don't want to
Whichever branch,
limit this, when we did it in the service, we didn't like the way it was structured maybe.
Okay.
The early mornings, the late nights, all that military stuff we had to deal with.
That rigid structure,
Coming outside of the military though, that same job
could be really different.
could be completely different. We don't understand that though, because we've never done it on this side.
Of course.
So having that person to talk to, maybe explain that, hey, it may not be the same. Or getting them into some type of internship early so that they can see what that job looks like out here versus just doing a complete
So the
change.
tool provides the kind of the basics, and then you get to do more of the human element that maybe you would have had to be taken up with paperwork and things like that before. So
and you can collaborate with our internship department that matches students with internships at a whole nother level.
I mean, that's the fantastic thing about the tool, because it's giving them great academic advice right on the spot, but it's also giving Sean the direction on how to guide them on the proper courses they should be taking. It saves them, so it's going to save them a lot of time, a lot of money when they're going through their time in school, and hopefully get them to a even higher degree quicker.
And in the VCCS, as you know, all faculty are student advisors.
Yes.
And we are not experts.
No.
And so in the time that I've been at Germanna and at the VCCS, I've seen the programs for veterans blossom into these great tools, and I'm so relieved, because I can only go so far in how I advise our veteran students, but now I have resources. I can take them to Sean, I can take them to Bob, I can help direct them to these tools and pass them to somebody who really has the specific knowledge to deal with our veterans. So it's great for us as well. We feel much more relieved.
Definitely,
in our
because you want to give good
You wanna
advice
do it
that's
right.
going to help someone get where they want to go.
Yes. And it's I like to say it's a shopping tool for our students, almost like if they're at on like Amazon or a grocery store, because it will display all 23 community colleges at one time, and it shows them how many credits to apply at. And the schools are just not the same.
They don't match up.
They have different programs,
23 different institutions.
And so they can, if they're in, let's say they're in southwest region of Virginia, and they think that their only option is that local community college, and then here's Nova with their online programs, or Germanna, opens the scale to, opens their options to what they can choose. And so that's another piece that was missing before that they didn't have.
Do you think that shared services, which is run through Eli Nova, will be helping with this, picking up on that, because that could be an end result.
The courses that go online
Right, is
to
that we
different
know
colleges.
we know that
Not
so
that I
many
know
veterans
of.
want these
Not
classes.
that I've heard. No,
Okay.
not at the moment, but
But stay tuned. Right?
yeah, that's right. But stay tuned because you never
you never do know.
never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
So where do you see this going? Like, what are your hopes and dreams for the?
Yeah. The hope and the dream is that every single service member who is transitioning out of Virginia will have to touch this tool prior to their release of the military.
Right.
And so we're having those conversations now with representatives at the Pentagon and representatives at the volunteer education programs. And so it could be a realistic goal maybe in the next coming year. So we are definitely starting those conversations.
Great.
And that would be huge for schools like Germanna because it will increase their enrollment tremendously.
Yes.
And that's the goal.
And we said earlier when talking about William that we want those
Yes.
students.
Yes.
We love those students. So.
Yeah. And they're your strong students.
Yeah.
They come with leadership skills.
Absolutely.
They're probably the best student in the room.
They lent a lot of commitment.
Yeah.
As an example.
That's the right word.
They model it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a great role model for your other students that are sitting in the class, right?
And they're also great because the more veterans you have, the more they relate to each other in the class. The hard part is when you have one veteran in the class and he or she might feel a little isolated.
Right.
And so now that we'll have more veterans in class, they'll have more people to collaborate with.
Sean, you look like you want to say something.
Share the experience.
Does that sound right or no?
It does. I mean, as a veteran myself, though, I guess I'm a different breed, maybe. Whether I was the only one in the classroom or not, I was willing to share those experiences. I think for me, it helped me learn, and I think it may have offered something for the other students. So y'all get a piece of that, but the ones that I guess feel isolated, sometimes they want to be
Isolated.
Yes, I've had that experience too
Yes.
as a professor.
So-
You want to stand on your own, and that should be respected too.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And some veterans don't even want you to bring it up. They don't want to mention
don't?
it.
Yeah.
They don't want to
Yeah.
talk about it.
That's right. That's right.
So you have to be very careful who's
Yeah.
sitting in that classroom. Even if you have a group of them,
That's
you
right.
still may
Sure.
have that one who don't
Sure.
want to be associated.
That's
Yeah.
really true.
Yeah, but
That's right.
again, the more we can do the the kind of the legwork, the numbers up front, and then really focus on who is that person,
Yeah.
with our time and our energy. I think that just seems like a win-win, and helping that person feel like walking in the door, they're more geared towards success.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just sounds like a great idea to me, and I'm happy that we're gonna have it.
And we're trying to open our doors to veterans and active duty service members. I say in the last couple of years, we've really have been bringing a lot of new initiatives to the VCCS so that our colleges have more. So they have some more options to offer our service members. So, for example, we now offer all active duty members an in-state rate regardless of where they're stationed.
Very good.
So they can be in Okinawa and take a class at Germanna online if they so desire, and we're not going to charge them an out-of-state rate. So
That's
they're
great.
able
Yeah,
to
that's
use
totally
them.
appropriate.
Yeah, so it's fantastic, and again, just it helps enrollment, and they would use this tool to see what.
I was about to say
Yeah.
that. Go ahead.
And they can
Go ahead.
In Okinawa,
In
they can
Okinawa,
jump on
right,
Credit2Careers
exactly.
and
Yes.
still see which college they want to go to based on
Yeah.
how many credits they'll receive.
That's right.
Definitely.
That's right.
And we can assign advisors, right?
Yes, and so if they're in Okinawa and they decide they want to speak to somebody at Germanna, they can hit a button and it gets them an advisor, someone just like
that's
Sean,
great.
and then they can actually have a chat within the system, no matter where they're located.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we can walk them through the process.
Yeah.
Get them
You just
set
have
up.
to deal with that 12-hour time difference.
That's right.
That's a little bit of a gap.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right.
Yeah, but the power of modern technology, though.
Absolutely. And another thing we're doing for active duty members, and actually I think our veterans as well, we're waiving placement testing at some of our institutions.
Okay.
Germanna being one of them, has taken up this pilot for our service members. And Sean can probably talk a little bit more than I can about it, but they can jump right into college credit courses now without a placement test.
Good.
And we are using best practices and why we've decided to do that based off other states that are doing it in the nation. Because again, like we were saying earlier, they're your best student, they're your leaders, they're studious, they're going to So we really think that this program will have high success, and we're going to find out because they're actually doing a study on it, and I think it's a 2-year study.
Great.
I haven't seen anybody who waived it
Okay.
end up on the bad side of that yet.
Okay.
Good.
So that's
Good
just me
news. That is good to hear.
Right.
Just me personally, there haven't been any, I guess, adverse consequences.
Right.
We do screen everybody who want to waive that placement test. We give them all the option.
Okay.
When they come in and need it, either you can go and take it or you can waive it. And if they have, prior college credits, we take a look at those transcripts as well.
that would
So
make a difference.
if we can skip that waiving of it and use their college transcripts
Exactly.
to exempt them from it,
Even
we'll
better.
take that
Yeah.
option
Right.
as
Yeah.
well. So there's about a 5 to 10 minute conversation, depending on who I'm sitting in front of, about
Right.
the consequences, the pros and cons of
Right.
taking this placement test, opting out of this placement test, and
I really like that they have a choice.
Yes.
Right.
That's- Yeah.
Right.
Sounds like the way to
And
go.
There are a lot of national programs now where they're doing similar things for non-veteran students as well. They call it multiple measures.
Yes,
Where
exactly.
you're looking at a variety of things, not just a placement test you walked in off
Exactly.
the
Yeah.
street and took, and
Right.
maybe you're
And the
not
whole-
a test taker, and maybe you just had a bad day, and that there are lots of things we
Yeah.
can look at, like you're doing.
Yeah,
Right.
as well as credit for prior learning, I think is
Right.
a big
Right.
buzzword right now
Yes.
in higher ed. So I think all of that is just shows,
all
you know.
that.
That's right, and that's
that we're
what
on
the
target,
tool is all
yeah.
about, credit for prior
Right,
learning.
right.
And all the studies that they have done on credit for prior learning, if you actually award credits, they actually retain and stay at your college, and
Yes.
the retention rate and the graduation rates are so much higher when you offer credit for prior learning
Of course
of
they are.
any kind.
Because you're giving
Yes.
that person ownership
Yes.
of what they have already learned
Yes.
instead of saying that doesn't count anymore, start over.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I feel like that's one of the big things I like to say persistence instead of retention.
Okay.
Same thing. But that's one of the big things that they tell us in terms of student persistence is the
Yes.
more the student is owning their
Their path.
their path themselves, right? The
Yes.
more
Yes.
they are successful because it's not
Yes.
being imposed upon them. It's something that they are motivated from within and, from their own.
That's right. And
in
we're
continuing
and we're
success.
acknowledging that
Yeah.
they actually had these skills and this.
And their investment.
That's-
They've
that's
already
the
invested
Yeah.
significantly.
biggest piece to that is the acknowledgement. So many times I've had a veteran come to my office, sit in front of me, and say, "Hey, what am I going to get for my JST?
Yep.
I've done this, this, and this." And I say, "Well, what you'll probably get, what's guaranteed right now is that PE credit.
Yes.
You may
Tell them how many.
1 to 2,
One.
depending on the program.
1 to
but
2 credits.
I think it maxes at 2 anyway, but you'll
Right.
get 1 to 2,
Okay.
depending on how many are required for the program that you choose.
They'll give you those.
Depending on what else is in your JST, you may get the 1 credit for SDV.
Right.
Other than that, I can't really say. Now, if they have certain things that apply, we'll apply it. This will allow them to see it beforehand.
Right.
But the question that I have to answer, or try to answer, it's a battle, is why don't I get credit
That's
Sure.
right.
for X, Y, and Z
Yeah.
experience in the military? And
Right.
yeah.
Right.
You know?
That's right.
So,
So-
much
That's
needed
right.
I
initiative. It
can't
sounds
really
like
tell
yeah.
you why
Yes.
you don't, but
Right.
Yeah.
let's
And-
just go and make it happen.
And I can say that the thought process was that they thought faculty would be the ones who would fight this initiative.
Interesting.
But when we brought faculty to Richmond for the training and talking about this,
Right.
this the first time we were going to do this work
Yeah.
and we were going to look at business courses, information technology, criminal justice, were some of the disciplines we were doing it on. And they said, they were in the room, "We've been waiting to do this for our service members and our veterans."
Yes.
So they were not
Yeah.
at all negative about this work. They were actually looking forward to the work, and it was fantastic time. We spent about eight months to a year bringing faculty in to really look at military experiences to be able to
Right.
award them credits,
Yeah.
so that Sean doesn't have to guess.
Right?
Or
fight.
fight,
right?
Or explain.
Well,
Right.
it's not
Yeah.
a fight, but I got to use my sales technique
That's right.
to keep them in the office so that we can keep the
Exactly.
process moving. That's all.
Yeah. No, but this will be better.
Yes,
Yeah.
much better,
Yeah.
much better. And we'll continue to have faculty come so that we can make the tool even more robust.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you.
I guess we're wrapping up.
I think so.
I think my first show was pretty fun.
Yes,
it's going to be hard
I
to
think you
top
did a
this,
great
but I think
job.
we
Yeah,
will.
this was just inspiring and
Yeah.
all
Thank you
good,
so much
all
for
good
coming.
things. Yes, thank you guys. And thank you for watching another episode of Germanna Today.